very much, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and supporters of our initiative. When the Interparliamentary Coalition for Global Ethics and the Foundation for the Preservation of National Values asked us in Berlin at the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy to promote such an initiative and to join forces, it was absolutely clear from the start that this is at the heart of what we do in Berlin. Since the 90s, we start to focus on something which on the one hand isn't our invention, but on the other hand, we try to focus more on the cultural dimension of diplomacy and do not just leave it to representatives of states to make the world a better place by a better understanding of what we are, how we see each other, and to change perceptions. And this notion of changing perceptions was an important theme yesterday when we got the chance to meet with members of parliament in Ankara, where we were told that the relations between Israel and Turkey suffered serious problems with the Marmara issue, and the hearts of people are broken, and therefore the perceptions of the people don't allow to move on. And this is pretty much the opposite of how we see how one should address problems, because I, as a German, who has a grandfather who was told that we should hate the French forever because our hearts have been broken in a number of wars and we killed each other and occupied territory, this polluted the bilateral relations of these two countries for so long that it was unthinkable that we could go beyond this point of perceptions. And what happened just a few years after the end of World War II, political leaders met with the support of the civil society and formed a project, which is my field of interest. I'm a professor for European Studies, to study how one can live in peace together without losing the identity of each and every nation and its different ethnic components, and to make the world a better place by pooling resources and forming something like an institutionalized form of dialogue. And if this is possible after horrible phases of war, it should be possible if single incidents harm the relationship of countries that lived together in peace and gave each other a helping hand over a long period of time. And therefore, when we were invited to come to Turkey to start this initiative, it was absolutely clear that even if we are not insiders in the situation here, we could help with the one or the other experience of the Institute or the expertise of the members that work under the umbrella of the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy. And what we are going to do from today on is not trivial. First of all, we want to make the world a better place, which is, as I said, not a simple task. And then we thought we should go beyond the more idealistic perspective and do something very concrete. And we all agree on the fact that the United Nations is a wonderful institution, but the world doesn't sufficiently pay attention to the culture of peace initiatives and only focuses on the political ones as such. So a lot of decisions have been taken in the United Nations that we could use and implement it in cases of a conflict, but it's not sufficiently known. And if we join forces and do not only wait until official representatives do something, but activate the support of the civil society and mobilize leaders who have an important voice and people listen to what they have to say, then we can hopefully change the arena a little bit and promote an initiative. So the general idea of our meeting today and yesterday and in the following meetings is, first of all, to get to know us better and see what we could do under the umbrella of this initiative and formulate a document, an initiative for peace in the region that could find support in a follow-up conference in Germany, which has a very accessible civil society. So it's not only us, the small Institute for Cultural Diplomacy, but over the years we promoted a number of programs and initiatives and have many friends in government or former heads of state and government and other institutions that could help us to promote this idea. And with the help of the German government and our friends and partners there, we hopefully could also find the support of the European Union. And then the next step would be to take it to Washington and New York and make it a global idea. So aside from this general initiative that we are happy that we could make a small contribution to, we also hope that as a side effect, we could help to bridge the problems between Turkey and Israel. And yesterday, as an external observer, I got a very positive impression that we are on the right track in this direction. We talked to several members of parliament whether it's possible to set up an interparliamentary dialogue again, which existed in the past and which is currently on hold. And in our understanding, this promotion of communication is a necessary precondition to solve problems, because if we only look at problems in our self-referential point of view, then we never change perceptions, and that's the key for the cultural change of problems of whatever kind. A general problem of professors is that they have this déformation professionnelle, that they can never stop talking. So I want to give a positive example and stop here and add something which is maybe a little bit of a German bias, because I learned that people have very different usage of their mobile phones and electronic devices. So would it be possible that for this conference we switch off our ringtones and don't answer phones while we are in a discussion? I think that would really help to concentrate on the important things we have to say. And time is flying, so without further ado, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity, and I look forward to a very fruitful conference. Thank you very much indeed.